Your body has two primary energy sources, glucose and fat. But what if you could train your body to burn more fat for energy? In this video, we're going to break down how you can become a fat burner by tapping into your body's natural processes. Let's dive into the science of fat burning. Your body relies on two main fuels for energy, glucose and fat. Glucose comes primarily from the carbs you eat, while fat comes from stored reserves in your fat cells. Most of us, however, have bodies trained to burn glucose first, while fat stays locked away. But what if you could shift that balance by training your body to burn fat more efficiently? You could not only lose weight, but also maintain energy for longer periods. To burn fat, your body needs to break it down. This process starts in your fat cells through a method called lipolysis, which is triggered by an enzyme known as lipase. Think of these lipase as the key to unlocking stored fat. However, there's a catch. These enzymes need to be allowed to work, and guess what stands in the way? Insulin. Insulin is a hormone that's secreted when you eat carbohydrates. It signals your body to store fat, and it stops lipolysis in its tracks. When insulin levels are high in your body, it's more focused on storing fat than breaking it down. So, how do we lower insulin to activate fat burning? One of the most effective ways is by reducing carbohydrate intake. Low-carb diets reduce insulin levels more effectively than any other type of diet, allowing your body to start breaking down stored fat. As insulin drops, fat is released from your fat cells and enters your bloodstream. But just releasing the fat isn't enough. To truly become a fat burner, we need to ensure that this fat gets used by our muscles for energy rather than being stored again. Now that the fat is released into your bloodstream, your muscles need to step in. They pull fat in through special doorways called fatty acid transporters. Once inside the muscle, the fat can either be burned for energy or stored again. Naturally, we want our muscles to burn it. But here's where things get tricky. Two factors affect when your muscles burn fat: insulin and glucose. Insulin not only helps fat get into the muscles, but also encourages them to store fat instead of burning it. On top of that, if your muscles are receiving glucose from the food you eat, they will always choose to burn glucose first, making it even harder for the fat to be used as fuel. Glucose is like a bully when it comes to burning fat. If your blood sugar levels are high, insulin rises and glucose takes priority as the muscle's fuel source. Fat gets pushed aside and stored once again. This is why a high-carb diet makes it so hard to burn fat. On the other hand, a diet low in carbohydrates keeps glucose low, allowing fat to become the main energy source for your muscles. This shift from burning glucose to burning fat is the foundation of effective weight loss. So, how do you start the process of becoming a fat burner? The key is to reduce your intake of carbohydrates, which lowers your insulin and encourages your body to use fat for fuel. Here are a few steps you can take to get started. Step 1, cut back on carbs to bring insulin levels down. Focus on eating more protein and healthy fats like avocado, nuts, and olive oil. Step 2, incorporate regular exercise, especially strength training. To increase your muscles' demand for fuel, this will drive your muscles to burn more fat. And step 3, stay consistent. Over time, your body will become more efficient at using fat for energy. To sum it up, becoming a fat burner is all about reducing insulin and glucose levels so that your body can access and burn stored fat more effectively. By lowering your carb intake and staying active, you can shift your metabolism to use fat as its primary fuel source. Remember, it's a gradual process, but with consistency, your body will adapt to burning fat more efficiently. Ready to make the shift? If you found this information useful, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips in optimizing your health.